Hey you, yes you, do you want to get good at agent? Do you want to be as good as the legendary agent mains like Swifts and Bloon? Do you want to top score every game? Well, you clicked on the right video, because this is kind of the only video that talks about how to agent properly. And yes, the title of the video may seem familiar because there is an agent frag movie with the same name, but the difference is, this video is going to get fewer rules and is original. Anyways, enough of the talking, let's discuss 10 tips you should know when playing agent. This list is not in any particular order. Number 1. Change your disguise. This is a common mistake that even high-leveled players make. They keep on picking the same disguise, which kind of indirectly tells them that they are an agent. So remember, have variety when disguising as an enemy. Number 2. Speaking of disguises, did you know you can disguise yourself as a teammate? Yes, this might be surprising and you might wonder how this is fucking useful. Well, you pea-brain fuck, let me educate you on this matter. I bet you're that kind of guy who uses the Den Ringer and feigns once the gates open. And let me guess, and you get caught 9 times out of 10. Well, that's because it's obvious. You took like 10 damage and you think the enemy is gonna get fooled and think you're actually dead? In order to prevent that, disguise as a teammate so it's a little bit more persuasive. Number 3. When taking any kind of damage, crouch jump. You may be wondering why you should do this. It's because if you're getting shot, the enemy probably knows you're an agent, so in that case, you'd rather escape alive, right? In order to do so, you want to get knocked back and to get flung as far as you can. It can also be a means of mobility for agents, to get stats that were not possible if she had just walked up to the enemy. Here's a video of me where I demonstrate the power of damage surfing. If you want to see more of this skills being utilized, make sure to check the video in the description. Number 4. You have to realize that there is no such thing as the best knife. Well, besides stock. Every overconfident agent players think the kunai is the best while beginners think the stock is the best. And the mid-level players think the switch stiletto is OP, and the remaining knives being situational. I mean, don't get me wrong, that kind of interpretation isn't wrong, but I believe every knife is situational. This is how I see every knife. Stock is best at everything. You have your 125 health and still one-shot players from behind. Just choose it whenever you do feel like it. Kunai is best for when the enemy does not know how to counter the kunai properly or when there are many slow classes like Brute and Trooper. Icicle, don't even bother using it. I guess you could use it when there is an arsonist who likes to combo, but at that point use a different knife or just change class. The Swiss Stiletto is great for getting chain stabs, but I personally use it when I'm practicing trick stabbing. When I started playing Agent, this knife helped me understand the momentum and shaping that is needed for trick stabbing. So if you want to learn how to do trick stabs, this is the go-to knife. And finally, use your eternal reward when you're at last on a payload map or when there are arsonists and mechanics that don't leave their buildings. You won't believe how effective this knife is in those situations. Since the enemy is busy defending, they don't realize that you swapped places with their teammates. I don't think I need to explain why this knife specializes in taking down sentries, so I'm just gonna skip that part. Number 5. Use enemy teleports. Some may be surprised that this is even a thing, and it is. This is one of the most effective ways to destroy sentriness. First, you sap the teleporter, then after it gets unsapped, immediately go through it. 50% of mechanics stand directly on top of the teleporters, removing a sapper, or just repairing the teleporters, which causes a telefrag. A telefrag is a special way to kill an enemy. When an opponent is on a teleporter exit and an enemy agent goes through it, the enemy is instantly killed and you do not lose your disguise when you kill the enemy. Most players don't realize that a telefrag occurred, so it is easy to sap the remaining buildings. Number 6. Don't use trick stabs as your main source of getting kills. Yes, I'm guilty of this. If you've seen any of my frag videos, they mostly consist of trick stabs, but I have an excuse, man. It's content. It's more entertaining to watch than normal backstabs. Anyways, back to the point. You probably heard of this phrase before, trick stabs should be used as a last resource. And I completely agree with that. As I said, you should not be relying on trick stabs all the time since they are unreliable and more of a gimmick. They are reliant on how well the enemy knows about you and the game. I mean, if you're a good agent, you shouldn't be getting caught. If you aren't caught, there really isn't an incentive for using trick stabs. Normal backstabs will do the job. Don't get me wrong, trick stabs are an essential skill that you should learn if you want to get better at agent, It enables you to get kills you would not have if you simply try normal backstabs. Number 7. I know some people are gonna get mad at me, but calm down. Sometimes playing Agent isn't the right move. It can be beneficial for your teammates if you swap off Agent and play Annihilator. In some cases, he's more effective at destroying sentries and can outdo damage the Agent is capable of. What I'm trying to say is just switch off because I want to play him. Jokes aside, not playing her could be the right move. Number 8. The tip isn't only for Agent. This applies to every class, and I think most people forget about how important this skill is. That skill being using map geometry effectively. Whereas using map geometry to get corner stabs, but using it to decloak without getting spotted, escape, and even get to high ground. Here are some spots that you should use or know if you want to get better at the game. Number 9. This is a skill that I use that I hoped I used earlier. It sounds weird, but never mind. Anyways, it's noting who is good at the game. I know this may feel obvious, but still, it's something we forget about. Most of the time, you take extra precautions when decloaking because you don't want to be detected, but if that player has shit hearing, there's no need, and so you don't have to take your time to find a safer place to decloak, so just stay right behind him. On the other hand, if you remember that player for being good, play carefully around him, so take those into consideration when playing the game. Number 10. Use your Revolver. This is a common mistake among new players, and I'm guilty of this one too. Many players become over-relying on the knife and forget that they have a revolver. So next time, instead of chasing down or trying to melee an opponent who's on low health, how about using the revolver? That's it for the 10 tips and tricks to become a better agent in Roblox Typical Colors 2. If you agree or disagree with what I said, make sure to comment them down below or join my Discord, which is in the description of every video. Hope these will help you in your future games. Stay yellow, my fellow.